All right, good morning everybody. So I thought today we could try adding the forearms and hands to our head turner puppet. She's turning out really great, so I want to be able to have access to those. So yeah, let's go take a peek at the artwork. I've got my forearms and hands collected. Nothing's named or anything, so we'll be starting right from scratch. So for my hands, I've got them all collected into one group and all lined up the way I think they would attach to the wrist. So I've got my default open self, open up, open palm, open gesture, side open, and open flat. And those we've just developed over time, and I use them a lot. So yeah, I started off with 27 hands to choose from, and I've kind of pared it down to these. Occasionally I'll add like a point or a fist, but these are the basic ones that I use. So the first thing I'm going to do is name all my forearms. And I have a naming convention for myself. You can name them whatever you want, but I find it easy to remember if I call the smallest forearm, or the donut, this one, 1. And then I'll just count up. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm not sure which is the default arm. I'm guessing probably 5. So I'm going to prepare them all, and if say the default arm is 4, I would just get rid of 5 because it would be too long. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go into these are right hands, so I'm going to go into my right arm forearm group, and I'm going to add some sub layers. Oops. 1, and I'll call it 1. 2, 3, 5. Then what I'm going to want to do is pull those in. So 5 will go into 5, 4 will go into 4, 3 will go into 3, 2 will go into 2, 1 will go into 1. Oops, let's just close all those. And then I'm going to pull a copy of hands into each of those folders. So you can do that by holding down Alt. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 3 I didn't do correctly there. Gotta be careful where you drop stuff. So 3, 4, and the last copy I'll pull into 5, and then I'll just delete that top layer because I don't need it anymore. Okay, so then we'll go into the forearms and line them up with the hands. So we'll enter isolation mode. Let's zoom in so we can see what we're doing. I'll grab the entire hands group and line it up where I think I want it to be. So some of these hands, like obviously you'd probably never use forearm default on forearm 1. However, you're going to want them, like for animation purposes, it's really nice to have the full set on each forearm. So that's why I usually do the whole hand group. Okay, and last one. Okay. And now we'll line up all our forearms. You might find it easier, Control Y will get you into wireframe. Oops. Okay, Control Y to get out of wireframe. Okay, so now we're going to take all of those, oops, and we'll pull them down and line them up. Oops. It's a bit hard to see what you're doing. I'm going to rotate, oops. You can adjust them after, but it's a good idea to get these lined up really nicely because we're going to be pasting them into the left arm shortly. So you want these at the right angle. Okay, let's take a peek how that looks. Okay, and when you're happy with them, you'll want to copy them and go into your left arm and paste them in. Flip them and bring them over and line them up on this side. Okay, and when you're happy with that, you can delete the original forearm group that we had. So let's delete forearm, yes. This one I see I didn't have the hands in the forearm group. So we'll just delete selection, yes. Okay. Oops, I see what I did there. Oops. I didn't drop these into the right group. These actually go in here, and then we delete these. Yeah, so it goes left arm opens into forearm and left bicep, forearm opens into each forearm with the hands, like that. Okay, so now we're ready to start rigging. So what I'm going to do is go back in, I'm going to take my original head turner puppet and I'm going to export it, and I'm going to call it Head Turner Head Turner, oops, arms, oh, come on. We'll just call it Head Turner arms. Come on, computer. Okay, and now we're going to import that puppet. Head turner arms. And I'm hoping it'll save all our rigging except for the arms. So let's go to the new version, Head Turner Arms. And we're going to go to attach it to the new artwork. And what did I call that? Head Turner Arms. Cherie Head Turner Arms. And we'll replace it. And hopefully it keeps everything. Okay, so it did looks like it kept everything. Even the rigging on the forearms. So happily for us, now all we have to do is make our forearm and our hand swap set groups. So I'm going to pull in my forearm and create swap set. I'm going to rename this left forearms. I'm going to select 5 as my default. Let's make 1 P and latch. And then I'll make my hands group by opening up hands. And pulling in my first one, we'll call it left hands. And we'll add the rest of the sets to our swap set. Well, I haven't done forearms for a long time. Doing all the experiments with Motion Library. Okay, and let's open up L for the left hand and latch it. Okay, and now we'll do the same for our right side. So we'll go into right arm, we'll find our forearm group and make it a swap set. Oh, I did something wrong in the artwork, hang on. Delete the original forearm and hands. Just wait for character animator to catch up. Okay, so let's redo that forearm. So I'm just going to delete that set. We'll go back to right arm forearms and pull it in. And we'll rename this right forearm. And we'll call 1 A and latch it. And then we'll do our hands by pulling in our first hand set. Let's call it right hands. And we'll pull in all the rest of our hands. Sorry, I'm not chatty today. I should stop doing videos first thing in the morning for me. Okay, we're on our last one. Open flat. And you can add hands to your handset at any time. Let's make open up Z and latch. Okay, and now when we pull her into the scene, she should have all her forearms and hands. Oh, I didn't set a default. So that's her left forearms. We'll make 5 the default. Make sure everything still works. And now when we press Z and 1 and L and P, yay, she worked. Okay, so to get all of that on the timeline, what I usually do, I'll turn everything off and I'll turn on just triggers, and then I'll set my examples. So A, Z, L, P, and I know I have my brows as 1, and I'll hit Control 2. Let's zoom in. And I normally pull that out the full length of my timeline, and then I just delete everything except the bar. And now you're all set to animate. You can select your brows at any time. You can select your forearms at any time, your left hands, right hands, etc. Another question that I had was, how do you set a rest pose? So now I'm ready to start animating, but I don't want her to always go back to the A pose. So the way you do that, let's go turn off everything. And I'm going to turn on my right hand first. So let's find right hand. We'll go to her right hand, put it how we want it to be. Let's get our timeline right back. We'll hit, oops, so get it in the rest pose that you like. Hit Control 2, and I'm just gonna drag that take the whole length of my timeline. Then I'm gonna go back to the beginning. I'm gonna turn off right hand, and I'm gonna turn on left hand. And I'll do the exact same thing. So I think this is how I'm going to want my rest pose to be. Sadly, you can see I didn't line up everything nicely, so I'm going to have to go through each arm and line them up. That's the advantage. If I had done that with just the right arm, then when I copied and pasted it to the left arm, we wouldn't have to do it twice. Anyway, sidetracked. So get your left arm how you want it. Hit Control 2, and we'll do the same thing. We'll drag that all the way out for our whole timeline. And now when we start animating, if we turn off everything, you can see she'll go to the rest pose. So now, say my next thing, I'm going to do her left hand, and I want her to be up here. So I'll do my 2-frame take, drag it out as long as I want it to be, blend it, we'll blend it to get it back in. And I usually work with this little thing twirled up so that my timeline doesn't step down, but you don't have to. So let's see how that plays. So we'll turn it off again and hit play. There. That's all there is to it. Anyway, so if you want to add forearms and hands to your head turner puppet, or even to a regular puppet, that is how I would do it. I hope you have a great afternoon, everyone. Take care. Oh, a little side note, we're creeping up on 200 subscribers, and it's super exciting. I really want to thank everybody so much for joining me. I genuinely, I thought there would be maybe 10 people interested, so it's really exciting. Thank you so much, and thanks for the comments too. They really mean a lot. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.